Bruce Springsteen, Tina Turner, David Bowie, Van Halen, Madonna, Huey Lewis and the News, Michael Jackson, The Cars, Herbie Hancock, McCartney, Bonnie Tyler, Stevie Nicks, CZ Turner, David McCartney and Michael Jackson, Richard Allen, Huey Lewis, Cindy Luca, The Cars, Herbie Hancock, Bonnie Tyler, Banana Mix, Stevie Wonder, Dan Martin, always finds taxes and rhythmics. Paul McCartney and Mike Billy, Randy Smith and Scandal, Tender Thompson, Janice, Stevie Nicks, Speed Rabbit, Banana Ram, Tyler, Coffee Head, X-Detective, Coffee Beans, Rogers, Police, Leo, Tally, Nick, Carl Oates, Tiny, Orkin, Smith and Scandal, Easy John, Rhythm Last Hits, Cannibal, Billy Idol, Gareth Leopard, Score Lane, Jeff Left Rhythmics, Susan Wonder, Michael Tap, Legacy Seller, Splash Blitz, King Gardens, Jill Songs, Goatcabin, Olivia Newton, John B. Newton, and all of it, groups of artists and vibrating tourism, switch and look to vibration, negative on negative, the judgment is all down on the bottom of this pit.
So, let's melt the North Pole. What? Melt the North Pole? Well, Congress once considered the idea. And really, it wasn't such a bad idea, except for one or two little things. We'll read about it. Read with me. Number 1, idea. 2, warm. 3, melt. 4, weather. 5, thought. Idea. Melt the North Pole? Well, it's far from the worst idea ever concocted. Yes, a United States senator passed along the idea to Congress. Carefully study the word idea. Idea. The freezing waters could be pumped out of the Arctic, and the warm Gulf Stream could be pumped in. And when the warm water would arrive at the North Pole, the Arctic ice itself would melt. Study the word warm. Number 2. Which word is the word warm? Warm. Melt. Few are aware that Congress considered the idea whether or not to melt the North Pole. Melt. Is it true that one could melt an ice mass of such size? Study the word melt. Melting the North Pole could involve changing the weather of nearly the entire Earth. Change the weather of nearly the whole world. It was a chilling thought. 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 So let's melt the North Pole. All right. Theory can be dangerous, and all of this was just that, theory. And it was theory that involved enormously changing the very weather of nearly the entire Earth, but also moist. Turn perhaps half the Earth dry? Melt the North Pole? Well, it's far from the worst idea ever concocted. And the United States Congress itself at one time thought carefully about doing it. We may drink a good deal of liquid and not easily satisfy our thirst. Liquid increases the thirst. the other hand, the albatross needs almost no water to live, which reminds us, men must soon learn to remove the salt from seawater and learn a way to transport that water to people inland. And if all this were actually done and found to work, according to the Russian scientists, North and South Dakota and the American Midwestern states would simply disappear.
And guess what? The government wants it that way.
Goodbye forever there. They must learn to do this, and they are learning. For animals will inherit the earth. Is this sentence true or false? Survive means live at sea. Turn perhaps half the earth dry. Change the weather of nearly the whole world. Ready? Congress decided to try to melt the North Pole, harm Siberia, harm Alaska, harm nearly the entire world. But it is perhaps even more dangerous than interesting. Yet it is not entirely foolish. Apparently, at least Siberia and Alaska would benefit, for these regions would then lack that which made them moist, thrust, thought. That concludes this lesson.
Swing at the fairgrounds here in Pomona. This is Vance Caldick reporting from a beautiful display in one of our many exhibit buildings. And this display shows all the wonderful virtues and the great things that are going on up there in Contra Costa County. Before me is a mouth-watering display of all sorts of apples. There are melons, there's squash, and there's all sorts of things. And here's the gentleman who's going to tell us more about this wonderful exhibit from Martinez, Mr. Fred Nettle. Fred, how are you?
Very well, thank you today. Before you ladies and gentlemen down here, I have put in industry, representing all phases of it. I have represented all the oil companies, the paper industry, the chemical industry, and the Continental Cans Corporation, plus the Glass Container Corporation. The main question most people ask me is, do you have oil wells? I tell them that we are one of the newest fields in the state of, in Northern California. And a lot of people ask me, where can I locate plants? And they're interested in getting out of this territory down here. I don't know why, I guess it's just fun. Now, my main background is a cat, which is 9 feet high. He's animated. His tail wiggles. One of his paws goes up and down, and he has a bead. And the thing that I used, curiosity, led to the discovery of gas and oil in Contra Costa County. And we also have large vials of bubblegum chemicals, animated flies which turn around and around, and all in all, has turned out to be a very effective exhibit for you people in Contra Costa County. I think if you come to the fair, you'd be very proud of it.
Well, I have certainly found it most interesting, Fred. I never did realize that you had so much going on up there. I've been through that part of the country, and my main interests are in fishing and hunting. surroundings. They got to be hobbies of mine personally. Everybody's been coming out here to have a real good time. And part of the good time is before these various exhibits and wonderful displays put on by Contra. I'm going to have you say it. My tongue gets, I'm so excited here.
In Contra Costa County.
Thank you.
say this somewhat quietly and without fanfare because...
How are you voting on the gun initiative?
Well, I'm against it. Because people who like their living green and private don't usually appreciate a lot of fluttering flags and cartwheeling clowns.
There are 17 million adults in California and an estimated 4 million handguns.
Well, that's not fair.
When no more can be sold, you can see that the majority of adults will be virtually prohibited from ever owning one.
When this vacation land is sold out.
That's right. Did you know it gives some people a special property right?
You mean my neighbor can have something legally that I can't have?
So if you've always admired parts of Piedmont or Orinda...
Well, you could buy one, if you can convince someone to sell you his, and if you're willing to pay his price.
And regret you didn't buy there 10 or 15 years ago. Sycamore should have considerable appeal.
That's right.
It is a custom community of personalized guns for the private pleasure of a limited number of families.
It allows people who already own handguns to keep them.
After all, you aren't going to find a finished big blue mountain lake in California that isn't full of boats and people, guns, and surrounded by cars. This opening is just the beginning of something people will want a Sunday drive-through for the next couple of 100 years.
Edward Zimmerman is a white man. Racial inequality in the United States goes back centuries. He called police to report an African American still exists. He followed the teenager, and police told him to attack the young man because he is black. Mr. Zimmerman says, under Florida law, people can use social media and deadly force at the time of the killing. And that's racial healing.
What is the problem? What is the problem?
I hate it!
You very much feel like you are in the midst of a country that feels that it is at war domestically, even when it is not really at war domestically.
What is the problem? What is the problem?
I hate it!
I can make 15 fucking posts on Facebook and not fucking one of you will share it. Because you don't want to offend somebody. Get the fuck off the internet.
I hate it!
You are of no use to anybody.
What is the problem?
That's right.
What is the problem?
Shut your fucking accounts down. Shut your fucking mouths. Fall in line and love socialist America, because that's what you got.
Hello?
I'd like a loaf of bread. Fuck you.
Can you hear me?
What is the problem? What is the problem?
I'd like a loaf of bread. I've been nice online. I've been nice online. That's right. I don't have children. I live alone. I can spend all of my free time dedicated to working online. And all of the hours that I've spent online working for this country is how I see it. And you people don't even share the shit I post. Thumbs up, you write the comment section on Facebook. Well, you know what? That doesn't count on YouTube. Figure out how to use the fucking internet or get the hell off of it. I'd like a loaf of It's a tool of the left. Use it against them. Facebook, Twitter. Use it against them.
You very much feel like you are...
Facebook, Twitter. All tools of the left. Use them against them. You want to really do it? I'll give you my fucking address. Better yet, Google my goddamn name, find it yourself, and show up unannounced. I'll be happy to fucking greet you at my door. I'll be happy to find you in my bed in the middle of the night, you assholes. I'll fucking kill you, and I'm just doing it. I was born on the fucking 4th of July.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
wilderness. 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 He said, the wilderness. Out of the wilderness. Out of the wilderness. Out of the wilderness. Out of the wilderness. Carve, he said, this nation, carve 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 this nation, out carve this nation, out carve this nation, out carve this nation, out Bible, he said, the Bible, carved, he said, and the Bible, this Bible, carved this out machine, he said, the machine, and the Bible, submachine gun, the Bible, and the submachine gun, carved this nation, brass knuckles, the submachine gun, and the Bible, knives, brass knuckles, and the submachine gun, bayonets, knives, brass knuckles, and the submachine gun, pistols, bayonets, knives, brass knuckles, and the submachine gun, axe handles, pistols, bayonets, knives, brass knuckles, and the submachine gun, shotguns, axe handles, pistols, bayonets, knives, brass knuckles, and the submachine gun, carbine, shotguns, axe handles, pistols, bayonets, knives, brass knuckles, and the submachine gun. America, he said, America, when a gun was built on a gun, America was built. The gun was built on a gun. It's good to see all of you there toting guns, he said. America was built on a gun. The gun and the Bible carved this nation out of the wilderness. Mayor Dukes, if you want our guns, come out and get them.
I'd like a piece of This is Pennywise. Joan, you're next.
This is Sue.
Hi, Sue. How can I help?
Jim, I really have a problem with impulse buying. I never have money left for anything.
Oh, why?
Jim, I really have a buying impulse problem with buying.
Okay.
Buying anything.
Wait a minute. Go ahead and use some of that money to bring some happiness.
Jim, I really have a problem. Jim, I never have money left for impulse buying.
A lot of people have that problem. Take cash.
Good idea. I feel we really need to buy right away.
After all, money is only paper and metal till you put it to use.
I never have money left.
But we've already decided to buy.
Impulse.
I really think it'll help.
Good idea.
Oh, thanks. Okay, let's go to line 4. This is Pennywise. I'm Jim Phillips, and your name is...
Bob.
Hi, Bob. What can I do for you?
I get confused by all the claims made in commercials.
This is Pennywise. Line 6. You're on. And your name is...
Bob.
Line number 5. You're on the air with Pennywise. I'm Jim Phillips.
I get confused by all the claims made in commercials.
Let's go to line 7 on Pennywise. Hi, I'm Jim Phillips.
Bob. Commercials. I get confused by all the claims made in commercials.
Oh, well, listen. I think your first responsibility is to yourself and your family.
The what?
Thanks for the call. Hello, you're on Pennywise with Jim Phillips, and you are...
Bob.
Okay, let's go to line 4. This is Pennywise. I'm Jim Phillips, and your name is...
Bob. Commercials.
Hello, caller.
I get confused by all the claims made in commercials.
And your name is...
Bob.
Hi, Bob. What can I do for you?
The what?
Go ahead.
I get confused by all the claims made in commercials.
You sound frustrated.
Because I am.
Well... My kids and I, for example, love to build things with scrap lumber.
What?
All right. Thanks for the call, Carl.
Bob.
This is Pennywise, line 6. You're on.
Bob.
Yeah, Bart.
Bob.
Go ahead.
Claims made in commercials. I get confused.
Why?
I get commercials confusing.
I can imagine.
The what?
Well, many religious people follow the biblical plan of tithing. You're busy with your clergy about it, but of course...
The what? The what? Commercials. I get confused by all the claims.
And your name is...
Bob.
That's a tough one. A lot of people have that problem.
The what?
Truth in advertising.
I get confused.
Advertising, though, can be a really good source of information because of the truth in advertising policy.
The what?
Because of the truth in advertising policy.
The what?
Truth in advertising.
The what?
Truth in advertising. Truth in advertising. You see, the law requires advertisers to tell the truth.
The what?
The truth. The truth. To tell the truth. Truth in advertising.
Good point.
So listen carefully to the wording of that.
The what?
The truth in advertising.
The what?
Well, then you have to decide if honesty goes both ways, right? After all, so this is Pennywise. You're on the air. Hi, Bob. What can I do for you?
Yeah, Jim, this is Charlie. I've got a moral question for you. The what?
Well, wait a minute. Thanks for the call, Bob.
This is Charlie. I've got a moral question for you.
Well, that's a matter for your own conscience, Charlie.
I figured you'd say something like that.
All right. Why don't you give it a try this year?
Okay, but they'll never catch it.
Well, thanks for calling, Charlie.
Thanks.
Thanks for the call.
The what?
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Find a small, sporty car. Find a small, sporty car.
I sure have.
Yes. Think of Cadillac. I was thinking of Cadillac.
I was thinking of
Cadillac.
I was thinking of a
Cadillac. Well, I was thinking of a Cadillac. 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 Like Cadillac. Like Cadillac. 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 Like Cadillac. Like Cadillac. 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 Like Cadillac. Like Cadillac. 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 Like Cadillac. Like Cadillac. 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 Cadillac.
Excised Avenue, Hilltop Way, Pelendular Boulevard, East Gaggenau Court, Polygon Plaza, Lane Zenor at Sewerage Street, Splitchmont Scenic Highway, Fustulation Avenue, Blithmeister Street, Beef, Vilpuck Street, Sensory Perception Place, Mangle Metal Boulevard, Organ Eater Avenue, Bitch Street, Regular Garbage Court, Remote Boat Way, Autogotophine Boulevard, Hypoxian Highway, Mufunctuous Street, Port Tree Way, the goddamn Selicuccian, useless, steedless, throughway. Did you hear me? 3 a.m. and 90 miles an hour. The vanishing point suddenly attaches itself to the freeway. In 5 seconds, you will overtake the horizon.
zones there are in the Soviet Union?
We got so much power now, that's ridiculous.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
Power and all that, that's power. We got so much power, that's ridiculous.
We have
power now. It's ridiculous. We got so much power now.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
It's not even funny. That's ridiculous.
Do you know how many?
It's not even funny. That's ridiculous.
Do you know how many?
That's ridiculous.
Do you know how many times?
That's ridiculous. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
It's not even funny. How many time zones?
Yeah. We have 4 in this country, right?
How many time zones?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
4 in this country, right?
Yes, sir. 4. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.
Right?
1, 2, 3. Yes, sir. 4 time zones?
Yeah. We have 4 in this country, right?
No, sir.
We have.
Yes, sir. And
do you know how many time zones they have?
Yes, sir. 4. No, sir. I never really studied that up.
11.
11. It's not even funny.
11.
11. That's ridiculous.
11.
11. Well, that's what we can do. We can go anywhere because we live here. We can go anywhere else.
But not only the right of free travel, I'm saying 11.
11. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.
11.
11.
That's how big they are.
Yeah. 11.
That's how big they are.
Yeah. I can believe that. I'm a firm believer in that.
Right?
1, 2, 3. 4. Yes, sir. 1, 2. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Soviet Union, the whole half side of the world.
Yeah.
And we're just one little tip of the globe.
Yeah.
They, when you talk about fighting, we're a country that we're a firm believer on Christ, and it's called help thy neighbor. Do not kill, do not, steal, cheat, lie from everybody. That's why we have to have computers, because nobody is perfect. It's not even funny. And about power, nobody is perfect.
So what is your point?
Nobody is perfect.
So what is your point?
There's 2 things you don't talk about. One's politics and one's religion. The reason you don't talk about it is because they combine with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
You know what I'm saying?
Don't you kid yourself. Thanks, Glenn, for just thanks for the good thoughts.
just think about this statement for a minute. If the statement is true, then the statement is false. And if the statement is false, then the statement is true. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop. And we get into a loop. And we get into a loop. It goes on forever. And we get into a loop. Which goes on forever. And we get into a loop. Which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. And we get into a loop which goes on forever. Forever, 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 forever. Forever, 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 forever.
Please bring your cat where he can cuddle up close and listen. Cat. The steel jaw, leg hold trap, a killer. Don't let that slip your mind, Cat. The steel jaw, leg hold trap. Did you understand all that, Cat? I'd like to speak with the dog of the house, please, in case you're not getting that. Sir, many of the dogs on your block aren't getting the steel jaw, a killer. Nearly every dog likes to go for a ride, but the family car can also be a pet's death trap. The steel jaw, leg hold trap. It maims, tortures, and kills. Still a hard-nosed killer, this leg hold trap. Did you understand that, dog? The plastic six-pack holder. It strangles and kills. I'll pronounce that again, dog. The plastic six-pack holder. Absolutely vital. Prime killers. Did you understand that, dog? It strangles. Did you understand that, dog? We'll tell you what you can do to help America get rid of dogs and cats. Cut it apart when you see one in a campground.